Hello guys, what's up? Today I will bring to you the information that I promised before, if you watched my previous videos, about how I did my internship basically without money. When I was broken, I made this decision. And at the end of the video, I will just inform you something that probably is going to make you to decide as well, to help you if you have any doubt about if you have to leave or if you have to stay. So just stay with me when I'm trying to search some coffee or something to sit down, because I don't want to be carrying this phone. My arm is already tired and it's not even 1 minute of video. I'll just try to find some coffee around here and we have a bit of conversation. The first thing that really bothers me when I left Brazil, it was because once I arrived there in Europe, I got a job working as a waiter. And only because of the fact I was in a different country, I got paid 4 or 5 times more than my salary used to be in Brazil, doing the same job. It means that only because you move from where you are now and you go to a different place to see the things in a different angle, it was automatically my salary increased 4 or 5 times more. And I'm telling you that, considering already the cost of life, it doesn't mean that if your salary goes 5 times higher, your cost of life is going to be 5 times as well higher. It's not like that. It's much for you. If you lived already abroad in Europe, for example, or in United States, you know already the cost of life is much cheaper. If you make this relation between salary and how much you pay to live, you see that there is a big difference. That's one point I want to bring to you today, if you never left Brazil. If you take this amount of money you are going to get paid to work abroad, to do your internship, that's something that it can also pay all your costs that you paid before you leave Brazil. For example, when I left, I was broken. I didn't have any money. All the money that I got to live, it was like 80-90% I got from a loan at the bank, and also I used my credit card, thinking like I'm going to work there and I will pay it later with my salary there. And it was not clear to me that my salary would be to have such a difference between my actual job when I left. So that's something that I want to bring to you. Sometimes we think, I need to save money, I need to learn English before. But if you just do this step forward and you take a risk, you're gonna save a lot of time. I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about how many years you're gonna take to learn your English in Brazil, wasting time, wasting money with the English course or something like that. Everything's flying away here in this wind. So that's the first thing I'm going to bring to you here. If you want to do an internship and you are in the same situation as I was when I did that, look for an internship that you can work and study. I'm not here to tell you to do anything illegal, to go as a tourist, something like this, because I traveled to more than 50 countries already. I lived in 2 different continents. I lived in the Middle East, I lived in Europe, I traveled everywhere, and I never stayed even one day illegal in a country. And also, I'm not here to judge anyone who does that, because everybody knows about their own lives. It's something that's up to you. I'm not the one who's going to judge you about that. But my recommendation here is that you look for some place that you can work and study legally, the same as I did. I'm not making up anything, I'm just bringing my experience exactly how I did that. So working there in Ireland, that's the place I went, I managed to pay all my costs, the money I borrowed before I leave. Also, I managed to pay my staying during this year abroad, and I had money left to travel to more than 7 countries in Europe. When I went back to Brazil, I didn't have anything left. I spent everything traveling and paying my cost. paying my loan as well and this kind of thing. I was even when I went back. Even this short period of time I stayed there, only 1 year, I managed to improve my English, pay everything, and having this experience. I went to Italy, I went that time, I don't remember, Greece, Amsterdam, Paris, London, and I stayed 20 days in Portugal, traveling from north to south. It was a really great experience, and everything I did, it was with the money that I basically made there. Now I'm going to bring you to another stage, that thinking differently if you never left Brazil, how to work there. And if you follow my other videos, you know that I always bring the truth. I don't have anything to hide here. And also I can tell you, it's not a vacation, it's not like a dream. You're gonna leave and you're going to be on vacation for 1 year. No, if you think like that, don't go. I had to work hard. The contracts, when you have the job contract there, it's like you don't work monthly for one job or another job. You are like independent. You can find like 2-3 kinds of different jobs and you work for them at the same time, because you are paid for hour and for weeks. So you can have a job in the morning and morning shift, and then in the afternoon you go for another job. At night you can move and do another job. I knew people that they were working a lot, 24 hours, or I don't know how they manage, but I did this. Basically I did the same. For a period of time when I had to save money because I want to travel and I want to pay my expense that I had to go, I was working like crazy. I had to work as a cleaner, I had to work as a waiter, I had to hold sign in the middle of the street in extremely cold weather for a long time. And if you think this kind of job will kill your dignity, you also shouldn't go. Because in my opinion, look what I did during this year, how many things I learned, and I had to do this job, everything legal, and I'm still here. It's been 4 years already that I had this experience, and my hands are here, I'm here, there is nothing wrong with that. But if you think like you prefer to stay in the office in Brazil, I just want you to stop for a while and think, what have you done the last year? And what are you going to do in the next year? Are you going to travel a lot? Are you going to improve your English? Because that's the main topic here, to learn English. Are you going to be able to do that in an office job? I have done both. I have stayed in an office job and I moved abroad to have this experience, and I can tell you, it's worth it. One important thing, if you are afraid because you don't speak English fluently. When I went there, my English was not like it's today. It's still not perfect, but I managed to improve a lot because I had more experience. I moved abroad again and again. If you can check it out in my another video that I make, why can't you learn English? If you think you have to have a perfect English to go, you never go, because we tend to create something that we always think we are never ready to do something. When I left, I thought I was not ready to speak English abroad, and I was not. I just learned more and more when I left. I just put myself in a situation to learn more. I have met people abroad that they couldn't speak even one word in English, and they did pretty well. They learned there. If you compare, if they start the English course in Brazil, how many years they would spend to have the English that they learn there in 3-6 months. That's the point I want to bring to you. So if you think you are never ready, after 2 years now, still studying English, you think the same. We never think we are ready to do something. We just have to go and do it. A friend of mine is always talking to me, asking me for advice. Help me because I want to do my internship. Help me out with something. And then I was talking to him, and he said, I want to go, but I'm really in love with my car. Imagine, I didn't have a car when I left. I would like to have it, just to sell my car and go straight away. So he has a car, and he say, I cannot leave my car behind, and I don't want to sell my car because I'm really in love with my car. Is that serious? Is it serious? I tell him. And he's still here because he cannot sell his car. I was in the maintenance. Citroën. Now I'm going to tell you what really made me to have this decision without thinking twice. I just want you to put in the balance, because some people, they say, I would like to be as courage, as brave as you, because you had this decision like quickly like this and you just moved forward. I want to be like you, and I'm going to tell you why I did that. Just put in the balance. One side is going to be your fear. How afraid you are to explore something different, because you never know what you're gonna find if you do this step forward. You never know. I cannot tell you. Nobody knows. It's something that you have to go and check by yourself. So one side you put the fear of the new thing, to explore a new thing. And the another side of the balance, I want you to put the fear you have to stay stuck at the same place. And then after 10 years, you look back and you think like, I could have done something different. I could have gone. What if I do that? What if I go? What if? I can guarantee to you, when I left, when I made this decision, I was like 95% afraid of what if I stay here? What if I get stuck here? Because I was bored, I didn't have money, my English, it was not good enough. I was not feeling happy with my English, and I was spending money trying to learn in Brazil. So one side, I was absolutely scared to be stuck at the same place. When I look back 10 years later, I would be like, why didn't I go? What could happen with my life? And I was only 5% afraid about what I would find if I move forward, if I go for take this step ahead. So if you want to make this decision right now, you just put in the balance. If you are 95% afraid of exploring something new, and you are only 5% scared to have this mentality, to have this feeling in the future, what if, maybe feeling of regret, something. So if you are only 5% afraid of this feeling in the future, that you should have done something different, you never go. You never make this decision. I know that because I had the situation. And in my case, I was absolutely scared to be stuck in the same place. Absolutely. I can say 95% scared to be stuck in the same place. That made the another side of the balance disappear, because I was only taking my decisions based on my fear to be stuck, to be stopped in the same place without having this experience. And look what happened after that. If you don't know, just have a look at my other video, because after I finished my internship, I went back to Brazil, I started studying again, I entered aviation, and then you can have a look, and I'm going to tell you more about that here. So it's up to you. It's not me who is going to tell you if you have to go or not. For me, it's worth it. Imagine, only because you moved to another place, you have this experience, you have this chance to see the world, to learn a new language, to get paid a fair salary for what you do. But the decision is up to you. You just put in the balance how afraid you are to go a step ahead and explore a new thing, or to be at the same place and regret in the future. Something really important. Of course, nowadays, if I had to go again to do an internship, I'm planning to do actually, but to do other stuff, I would do everything by myself. I would just go look up for informations because I'm not lazy to read and check up all the informations that I require to do an internship like this. But if you are new, if you never went abroad, I would highly recommend you to try to find some agents. I don't work for any. I'm not sponsored for any agents. But I'm just trying to remember the agents that I went, because the girl who worked there, she was my colleague when we were young. We are still young anyway, but not as much as before. And I'll try to remember, I think it's experience internship or something like this. Her name is Marina. I'll just check it out if she's still working there, and then I will leave the link here below. Because to be honest with you, if you ask me about this, how to go nowadays, how it's the visa, about this kind of thing, I will not be able to answer everything. So if you made your decision, you wanna travel somewhere, get in contact with her, because she helped me a lot when I was going the first time, and I'm sure she is going to help you as well. Marina, I want a commission for that. If you sell something, just kidding. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you for the ones who watched until the end. See you next time. Obrigado.